Welcome back everyone, Oz here, and today I've got some r/Tales from Retail. I also wanted to real quick push the sponsored gamer subs because YouTube for some reason has been demonetizing this channel, which makes it hell to get uploads out on time. So if you want to directly support the channel so I don't have to worry about the yellow icon of death, then use code Oz at checkout. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Choose name when drunk. I'm gonna give you $50. A customer comes through with a basket full of groceries. We're chatting as I scan and bag them. Get to the end and it comes to $32.40. Me. That'll be $32.40, cash or card. Customer. I'm gonna give you $50. Me. Okay. Hold out my hand. Customer. Can I have my change? Me. As soon as you pay me, you can. Customer. No. I've been shortchanged too many times. I need my change before I give you any cash. Me. I need you to give me the cash before I can open the till to get your change. At this point, I still have not actually seen the $50. Customer. You don't even know how much change I need, do you? $17.60. The customer grabs the bag of groceries off the counter. I suspect where this is going, and I open the intercom to the office. Me. When you give me $50, then you will receive $17.60 in change. Customer. If you know how much it is, then you can give me the change first. Bust the customer. Always shows up quick when money is involved. I'm sorry, you need to pay first. Customer. Fine, I'll just put it on my card. Me. ... Is this a common scam tactic that I'm just not aware of, or do you think she was really paranoid about being shortchanged? Like genuine question. Like, I could maybe justify the thought process of, I want to pay in cash for various reasons, but sometimes they won't have the proper change. I want to make sure I'll have the proper change. They can't prove they have the proper change when I've been shortchanged in the past. Well, if they can't properly break my 50, then I suppose I'm just going to have to pay with card because it would just be easier despite me not wanting this on my debit card. That is the circumstance of events that I could maybe understand this line of logic, but if this is a common scam that happens, then yeah, that line of logic is out the window. However, with that same line of logic that I just came up with, that line of logic could also be very easily countered by her just pulling out the 50, putting on the counter and being like, hey, can you make sure that you have the change in question, because if you don't, then I'll just pay with card. And then bada booey, problem solved. But hindsight's 2020, and this is of course assuming the most charitable circumstance of events possible. Tales from Retail. This one's posted by Deleted. Well, I ruined another wedding. /sarcastic. I work for a suit rental company. We ship out garments to arrive with plenty enough time for customers to contact us with fit issues, color discrepancies, satisfaction issues, etc. If an issue is communicated, we can get the customer taken care of. While we appreciate communication as soon as possible, we have even assisted customers with issues with tight timelines, including overnighting orders or replacements if necessary. I had a wedding couple contact us a week after their event demanding a refund for everyone in their party due to one of the members receiving the wrong suit. A member of the party that got the wrong color did not contact us. In fact, he apparently didn't try anything on until the day of the event. The couple complained about the wrinkled garments, fit issues with many party members, and of course, the wrong colored suit being sent. Originally, the wedding couple had the color that the groomsmen received selected, but changed their mind during the process and selected a different color. There may have been some technical issues on our side regarding that change, but again, none of this was communicated and done by the wedding couple online. The couple continued to cuss me out, stating that we ruined their wedding pictures. And the pictures would be a reminder of how our company fecked up their wedding. They also mentioned, dudes aren't gonna check stuff beforehand, this isn't our problem. Due to the level of communication we received, none, I was unable to offer a full refund for them. They demanded to receive more communication from above me, but I couldn't promise anything. They threatened to ruin my life, the company's, if I didn't assist them. I tried to reassure them that any communication would have resulted in us helping them, but it just kept going back and forth. Anyone else work in the wedding industry? Let me know how many weddings you've ruined or how you ruined someone's wedding. Melting emoji. See, when they threaten with, "I'm gonna ruin your life," I can only imagine they either mean bad reviews, which won't do shit because when it's publicly found out on that bad review that they never once checked in for the suit fitting and waited until the day of the wedding to check the color of the suit, that falls back on them. Also, if there's wrinkles in the garments, why didn't they get it dry cleaned or ironed or anything? Like, that all sounds like it's on them. The other way they could attempt to ruin the life of the employee or the company is by suing, and that's not going to go well. The judge would probably throw it out once they see the company policy and any kind of, well, disclosure agreements they had to sign beforehand, and if it does, for some god-awful reason, make it to a jury, the jury's just gonna laugh him out. It's like, you're suing the company because you didn't even check the suit hand before, and you demanded a refund when you didn't check the suit beforehand? Like, the thing is, shit happens. Alright, the company, yeah, they had a technical error, but they offer plenty of time to correct something in case that error occurs. They, who knows how long they waited between the time of the wedding and when they originally ordered things, are entirely responsible for not getting their shit returned. That's why most companies like Amazon or literally every company on the planet has a return window for items. Hey, did you buy something and fuck up by buying it? Yeah, you got a 60-day return period. Oh, you're returning it on day 128 because it's the wrong color? That is not our problem. Hell, literally like a month ago, I made like an adult purchase with adult money that I was really excited for, and they were plates. I ordered plates off of Amazon. They were supposed to be like a glazed forest, kind of greenish blue. Very exciting. When they arrived, they were gray. They were not the right color. Put in a return request with Amazon. Everything was handled. Hell, even the Amazon delivery driver who dropped off the new plates took the previous box with him. Everything was handled. Just like that. No issues, no concerns, no problems. Everything handled within a week. But if I got the box of plates and just left it in the kitchen unopened for 6 months and then finally got around to wait a minute, this isn't what I ordered. There's nothing I could have done at that point, and that's on me because I never opened the goddamn box. KitKat 666-2022. Woman tries to compare bad days and regrets it. So I, 20, have worked at a retail chain in a small village for a few years. I've had my fair share of terrible customers, but I have one time about a year ago where I managed to come out on top, as it were. For some context, I have non-epileptic seizures, and depending on how bad they are, I'll sometimes keep working after a seizure if I feel well enough. One day, I had just had a seizure and was still feeling a bit shaky, but well enough to work. So I went up to the cash register and served this lady. When I had scanned all her items, she spoke with a rude tone and said, I'm paraphrasing as this event was a while ago, you really should offer people a bag before scanning. It'd be so much quicker that way. I politely apologized and said, I'm very sorry, I'm just having one of those days. And she rudely snapped back, well, I've had a really bad day, so that's no excuse. I was taken aback, but decided to be petty. I changed my tone to sound very apologetic. You're so right! I'm so sorry. I just had a seizure, so I'm a bit wobbly, but you're so right. I'll definitely do better next time. She looked shocked and said, I didn't realize, I'm so sorry. But I doubled down and said, oh no! You were right! I should have done better. I'm so sorry! She quietly paid and left muttering a sorry as she left. See, this is one of those interactions where OP's probably really happy about it, but that poor lady, which it was well-deserved by the way, why does your socioeconomic status in this situation matter? Anyways, this lady probably has this memory on loop every now and then and just sits there in complete cringe and just terror at this memory. There's nothing she could do about it. She's gonna live the rest of her life thinking back on this with complete just, wow, I really fucked up there, didn't I? RBXYY. No, I'm not going to break the law and lose my job so you can buy a bottle of tequila. I work a couple of nights a week at a liquor store to make a little extra cash on top of my main job. Our policy is that everybody in your party and in your car has to show ID, and we ID anybody who looks under 35. We turn people away pretty regularly due to their friends not having IDs. Tonight, 2 girls came in. I said hello to them and they ignored me, and they brought up a bottle of tequila. They looked young, so I asked for both of their IDs. One of them gave me her ID and she was all set, but the other one said she left it at home. They both immediately told me she was 23, but I told her I still had to see her ID. Her friend asked if she could go outside and then she could buy it, but unfortunately, I couldn't, since she had already come in. They left after that. About 15 minutes later, the girl who showed me her ID came back with another guy. They brought out the same bottle and I told her that I couldn't sell to them because of her friend from before. They argued and said that they dropped her off at home, so she's no longer part of their party, which made no sense because if they brought her home, then she should have just brought her ID back, assuming she's 23 like she claimed. I told them I couldn't and they kept arguing. I stood my ground and they asked for a manager who told them the exact same thing. They finally left. Just bring your ID or leave your underage friends at home. I'm not gonna risk my job because you didn't bring your ID. And no, a photo of your ID does not count. Edit, just to answer a common question in the comments, if a young child comes in with their parents, then it's fine, as long as they don't touch anything. If they're old enough to be left at home by themselves, then, per store policy, they'll have to show an ID if they come into the store. In the last Tales of Retail video, we talked pretty much at length about people trying to get alcohol or tobacco without being the proper age. So instead, I'm going to talk about what happened when I turned 21 and tried to buy alcohol for the first time, because I have chronic baby face. From the moment of walking in, I got tons of stares because I literally looked like a high schooler who wandered in there. They were probably expecting a fake ID. So my goober ass sees the moonshine section, specifically the one full of maraschino cherries. It's Smokey's Old Moonshine. It's just full of those just yummy maraschino cherries that are pretty much just cancer in a cherry. I love them a lot, and my entire body gravitated towards that, snagged it. Probably the worst one to grab as I am trying to be an adult here and not a high schooler that sees something that looks like candy. So I walk up to the register to buy it, and when I hand him my ID, I can see like the gears turning because he definitely thinks that I'm just a child trying to buy moonshine. And it doesn't help that I have one of the fakest looking birthdays ever. It's 112299, November 22nd, 1999. Thankfully, beyond the awkward looks, they were pretty A-okay with it and didn't ask any questions beyond that, but definitely I felt the entire store's eyes just glaring into my soul the moment I walked in. Lily Crossing with an extra G. Customer loses it over 6 gallons of milk. Edit, I'm aware I misspelled loses. Can't change the title. Oh well. Don't worry, I make that mistake too. I work at a gas station, and a bit of context is that every once in a while the company will reduce the price on certain popular items for a limited time. However, more often than not, there is always a limit to how much a person can buy, so other customers can get the reduced priced food. Usually we have an abundance on things that go on sale, like bread and bacon, and most of us don't enforce the limit. However, around the holidays last year, the gallons of milk went on sale, and there was a limit of 4 per person. Our store is small, and we don't have that much milk backstock that we can keep in the cooler and display. So this time around, everyone made sure to, if it ever came up, to enforce the limit, because milk is really popular already. Usually people who are buying the gallons of milk never buy more than 4. Well, until this guy came in. He was by himself, and it was almost time for me to clock out. I had like an hour left of my shift. I don't watch or pay much mind to the customers who come in until they're ready to check out, so I didn't realize that he was holding 6 gallons of milk when he came up. At first, I was impressed by he managed to carry all 6 gallons up to the front before I realized I had to enforce the limit. Me. Hi, I'm sorry, but the limit for the gallons of milk right now is at 4. Guy. What? Why? Well, it's because they're on sale right now, and since they're on sale for a limited time, there's a limit so everyone can get some. Guy. Every time I've come in, I've had no problems with getting 6. I'm leaving with 6. At this point, I'm getting stressed, and I try showing him the signs around the store saying limit of 4, and that if he had somebody else come in for the other 2 gallons, it would be allowed, etc. But he's at this point raising his voice and getting very aggressive. Finally, he shouts at me for a manager, and I call the lead who's working that night. And to my disappointment and horror, he let him get away with buying all 6. I can get it. He wanted him gone, but I felt so stupid, and the guy let me know how stupid I was. Unsatisfying ending, but that lead doesn't work at the gas station anymore, and I've never seen 6-gallon milk guy again. Thankfully, he took his business elsewhere. Dude, that is fucking stupid. Management makes a rule, tells you to enforce the rule. Someone tries to break that rule, yells at employee. Management takes tail between legs, lets them break the rule, and makes you the fall guy. That's bullshit. Also, who the fuck buys 6 gallons of milk? How are you gonna drink that much milk before it expires? That is so much. Like, what are you, like a family of 6 where each person drinks a gallon of milk a week? Like, oh my god, that's so much milk. And what's worse is that we're 1 gallon away from a quite horrifying implication that he's drinking a gallon of milk a day. That dude's skeleton must be jacked. Not your nanny. Yeah, I know the owner too. This was many years ago, when I was still in the trenches. Like any retail store, we regularly got the "I know the owner" claims. But we're a small company, and everybody knows everybody, and the owner had a very open-door policy for employees. I had one guy who wanted a steep discount on a barbecue, to the point we'd be losing money. Margins are pretty low on barbecues. Because Jeff said to. Okay, that sounds like something Jeff would do. Let me call him to verify. While dialing the phone. I think he actually did know the owner from the way he ran out the door, because the most likely response to that lie would have been to be banned from all of our stores permanently. I wonder if the guy was trying to exercise the old tip of social engineering where you act like you know what you're doing, or you act like you belong there, or you act like you know the owner and see what you can get away with. I don't know though, that's my personal thought, and I might be trying to romanticize or add a grander scheme to his actions because it's more fun to think that way, but in truth being, he probably knew Jeff, probably thought he could just name drop him and get away with it, and walk out with a barbecue. I guess it is kind of the same technique, but he probably didn't hear it as a tip or something and then want to try it out. He probably just kind of stumbled upon that on his own. A little fun fact, by the way, this is actually how I found out that my manager when I worked in fast food was having an affair. I had met this manager's wife, and I was working the cashier briefly to handle a few things, and this lady walks up, orders a bunch of food. When I give her the total, she's like, "Oh no, I don't have to pay." I was like, "Yeah, you do." She then pulls up the claim that, "Oh no, it's okay because I'm dating," insert manager's name here, "so it's fine." Me, who has met his wife, and also has, unfortunately, babysat his kids while they ran around the kitchen, was a fucking train wreck of a place, let me tell you what, was like, no you're not, he has a wife. And, yeah, she was not happy. To put it in further perspective, she was trying to use his manager's discount where once a shift he gets a free meal, and apparently he had given her permission to use that, and she was trying to use it, but didn't tell her how to use it, so it just turned into a really awkward scenario where he got outed for having a wife, and she found out that she was his side piece. Spike the crazy cat. Seems sus. So I work at a thrift store, and the way that we price our items is by category. For example, if you bought a jigsaw puzzle or a stand mixer at a regular store, they would most likely ring it up as jigsaw puzzle and stand mixer, respectively. But at my store, they would ring up as toys and kitchen instead. As a result, we get a lot of people switching tags from one item to another. Now, we can't explicitly say that the person that brought something with the wrong tag to the register is the one that did it. We say, "I'm sorry, but the tag that is on this item is incorrect. The actual price is amount," or "we have to send it to the back to get a new tag," or "let me call someone to get you the correct price." I am a lead cashier, and I am able to give a price to something on the spot, as long as the customer doesn't mind it being non-returnable. So there's this customer with a salad bowl with the wrong tag, and the cashier doesn't know the real price. The tag on it said $2.99. When I got up to the front, I explained to the woman that the price is incorrect and that I know we don't price our salad bowls for $2.99 unless they're plastic. Hers was really nice, had a painting of a rooster on it, and that I could sell it to her for $4.99. Well, she was not happy with me, and explained that there were tons of salad bowls back there that were this price, and that we were always doing this to her, that every time she comes in to buy something, we change the price of something that she's buying. Which made me want to say to her that if we're always changing the price on stuff that you buy, maybe it's because you always switch the tags. I didn't actually say this, but it seems suspicious though, right? I just smiled at her and explained that we're not changing the price because of her, but because someone switched the tags on her item, and that the tag is incorrect. It's just store policy, and that I could call for a manager if she wanted. She said no, that it was the fact that we're changing the price even though we priced it at $2.99, and that she would have bought it if it was $2.99 or $12.99. Okay, that it's $12.99 then. I explained to her that we don't price our salad bowls at $2.99 and that this was wrong, and that I was giving her a correct price based on our pricing range. She ended up buying the bowl, but when I had time, I went to our kitchen aisle and looked at the prices on each of our salad bowls to look for our tons of $2.99 bowls. Every single salad bowl, bigger or smaller than the one she bought, was $6.99, and hers was the fanciest one. So, I think that $2.99 bowl was a great deal. Again, the bowl would cost $12.99 if she said that. I'll pay $2.99 or $12.99, just stop changing the prices on me. Well, as of now, it's $12.99. I actually used to volunteer at a lot of thrift stores in Idaho, specifically a part of the Idaho Youth Ranch brand, because, well, it started originally as part of a school community service, and then I just kind of kept going there because it was just a nice way to spend the weekends occasionally. But, my whole thing that I would do is mostly sorting clothes, and just kind of, a good way to get out of the house and do that. Every now and then we get pieces of furniture and glassware and that kind of stuff and have to put tags in them and sort them and all that jazz. Thankfully never having to deal with customers because I wasn't an employee. But I gotta say, if you've never been to a thrift store, you should at least go every now and then because the amount of high quality furniture you can snag from a thrift store is actually kind of shocking. This also goes for clothes as well, and well, honestly, really everything. Just make sure you can bag everything up in an airtight seal for a couple days before you officially start using it. While most thrift stores do clean clothes in industrial dryers and industrial washers, it's not quite the same when it comes to appliances or other furniture. I've heard personal horror stories of someone buying a toaster from a thrift store only to find out that there's a cockroach nest inside of it. While rare, it's definitely good to be cautious because you're getting a great price on something, but sometimes it can have a couple risks here and there. So just make sure you're taking proper precautions and enjoy thrifting. Vote Tanner. Everyone is your victim. Next, please, you tell the queue. She comes forward. Important middle-aged woman number 21,649.
I've been waiting in this queue,
she declares,
for 20 minutes!
You tell her, I've been standing here serving it for 5 hours.
Well, at least you get paid, she points, with my money! And you keep me waiting 20 minutes!
I didn't keep you waiting, you say. There were other paying customers who'd queued up before you, and you chose to wait behind them. Also, you haven't given me any money yet.
Oh, don't you belittle me,
she warns.
I come here to pay you your wage. You keep me waiting 20 minutes, and then you think you can belittle me?
You start scanning her stuff.
Or maybe you don't think you need my custom. Maybe I should just take my custom somewhere else, since you obviously don't need my money.
That'll be 28, please, you tell her. She whacks her card against the machine. It beeps twice. Your card's been declined, you tell her.
What? That's impossible! Let me try again.
Beep beep. Declined again.
You've done it wrong. You're canceling it at the last second to make me look bad.
Madam, please, you implore. You're holding up the queue. She looks at you. She turns to face the queue. Then she looks at you again.
You must have charged me twice. You've charged me twice, and now I'm broke. I'll be suing you, she reckons, marching out. I'll be suing you for robbery and discrimination and terrible customer service.
You dump the leaking frozen food she's left behind into the wastebasket. Next, please, you tell the queue. And the next one comes forward. Important middle-aged woman, number 21,650.
I've been waiting in this queue,
she declares.
For 25 minutes!
You've been standing here serving it for over 5 hours now, and you've made about 40 before tax. And do you know what's really scary? You're not the unhappiest person here. Don't forget, this is brought to you by GamerSupps. Use code ODDS at checkout. It's basically a caffeine powder that you put in your water, and I actually really like it. I use this on a daily basis. Don't forget that every purchase you make using code ODDS directly supports the channel. And if you want a personal recommendation from me, I would either recommend the Soda Pressing Pear or Dragon Fruit Punch. Those two are currently my favorite flavors. And as a note, once we sell a certain amount of stuff, I get my own flavor and my own cup, and you all know I'm gonna choose some degenerate shit that's gonna make their PR team squirm. My goal is to make them regret partnering with me. So please, use code ODDS at checkout to make my dream come true of making a PR team squirm.